All right. Going to share a little bit with y'all on how I believe a very effective way to watch the briefings that are daily, once, sometimes twice, and even your local news for your local governments to maybe better understand, what's being said. So first, give you all a few ideas as far as background. Many of you may not know. I was younger. I actually was in radio and television. I think I give that information in my book, but I actually worked for one of the largest radio stations in my early years, and then I worked for NBC, and I did a full scope of everything from, audio operator, on floor camera, writing news reports, editing, and then syndicated director for NBC News station that had a solid 2-state influence as far as how it reads, the number of people it reads. So here we go. This is something I really have not wanted to dive into since I started this approach to letting y'all know what's going on with the coronavirus. But it really started before things started rolling. Some may not realize that, there's just some things I'm not at liberty to share because it really doesn't do anybody any good. But I can tell you this, that I have friends who has friends. We have colleagues in the intelligence community, in law enforcement, in the medical field, but definitely I got sourced information directly from the administration, from someone who does daily briefings with the president. And it's time for me to share a little bit more. I've tried to consistently share so that people wouldn't be alarmed or panicky, because the panic can end up being worse than the initial problem. So what I'm going to share on how to watch the updates, I hope you consider sharing it with other people. So when updates are given, when task force updates are given, you have to listen to what they're saying, but how they're saying it, because they're wordsmithing what they're communicating to make sure they give you the truth, limit their liability, and keep people from panicking. So they're very strategic in how they're going to communicate, because it's part of leadership. And I think they've done an excellent job just to get that out there for any of my friends who are in key positions. I'm not giving up my sources. So with that said, every time the government officials are reporting, are giving updates, listen to what they say and how they say it. They will typically put more emphasis on the optimistic aspect. We've done this, we've done that, we're ahead of the curve, we're high energy with emphasis. And then things that are concerning to them, their intonation or inflections will be lowered. Like, nah, it's not better. The Good Doctor is a great example. He goes, yeah, we can expect the best outcome if everyone does what they're supposed to, 100,000 deaths. And but it could go up to 200, and now it's 240 as of today. Watch the way he says that. He doesn't say it with an alarming, oh my gosh. Again, our government officials and people in leadership do not want to cause panic. So, please listen, watch, pray about what you should do, okay? How you should prepare. Our advice has always been, be prepared, not paranoid. But some people who aren't prepared are going to be paranoid and literally going to be part of a panic mode, right? And you should not make decisions based on fear. Fear will make you overdo things and react, not respond. So what are my recommendations? I can only tell you what I can recommend to my own family. And you must weigh out the statistical models of what's happening. And then you have to decide, where do you think this could go? And what are the probable and possible outcomes from the impact of this virus spreading right now? Then you have to make your best informed, prayerful decision. I wish more pastors who have the influence and ear of their flock would speak more directly to this. Hey, if churches want to meet, use wisdom. Meet in your parking lot. Let a pastor use a bullhorn to preach and speak, okay? And not congregate in masses of people in a building and then declare, well, we have a right. Of course you have a right, but it doesn't mean it's right. So consider the outcomes of the impact of what you're causing and be wise. It's not a badge of honor to get arrested or because you think you're getting persecuted. Trust me, this is not persecution. Come to Iraq, come to Syria, come to other countries where real persecution happens. And then let's see what type of headlines you want to get. So you must remember, everyone, that God is in control, and yet America is not exempt from suffering and hardship. We live in a mentality like we are, but we're not. So with that said, I have told my family, as always, in normal life, you should be prepared for disruptions. I do not think our infrastructure will be affected by this. Meaning electricity, water, sewage, pickup, garbage, I think all of that will be okay. However, I do think there's a high probability for simple disruptions in food, not due to lack of not due to the lack of supply, but due to people panicking, or when people don't have any more money because they're not working, which there are millions, they may try to disrupt it by just going into grocery stores and saying, this is what I'm going to get for my family. Can you rely on the police to arrest them? Probably not. I know law enforcement, and although they are on the front line, and God bless them, they have families at home. They don't want to risk getting infected as well. And our country is struggling just to provide sufficient mask for our healthcare workers and frontline. So the virus has never been my main concern, and I've communicated in a calm way that it's the way people react that has been my concern. And the probability is high, not saying it's going to happen, but the probability is high that at some point, to stop the virus, there will need to be implemented a pretty stiff, everybody stay at home. No more playtime. Every state, every city, and just go won't. Airlines are going to have to stop, trains. There's going to have to be just a heavy hand to say everybody hold still in order to really make this stop. We've been watching New York as the epicenter. Well, guess what? New York is dealing with it. It's gone week after week after week. And now, for my home state, Louisiana, New Orleans is now the new hotspot growing. Do you really think it's only going to stop in these two cities? Come on. So, with that in mind, what do you think is wise to be self-sufficient and the ability to stop someone if they get crazy and run down the street or try to take what they think they can because the police aren't everywhere and they're not worried about getting arrested? Take the appropriate steps to be able to defend yourself and provide for your family self-sufficiency with food. And how long do I think is wisdom? Well, I would say, I'll tell you what I tell my family. And I'm not telling any of you this. I tell my family, you should have enough basic necessities, food, for a month. Just a month. I don't think there'll be any problem with water, electricity, the infrastructure will be fine in that sense. There's no need for that to be interrupted. There's nothing that, even if every person at the water plant got sick, there's so many people out of work, or the Army Corps of Engineers, people would step in. Our country's resilient. And I don't think it's gonna be beyond, it's not gonna be the zombie apocalypse, because we've lived that in Iraq and Syria. We've seen what it's like. We've lived it for the last 5 years, off and on. And every time it was like, whoa, this is not good. Oh, okay, we're safe here, and we go into that area. It's that city's a complete hellhole, and evil's running rampant because ISIS was everywhere. So, please listen to the way the updates are given. Prepare your family. Don't rush to a supermarket and pile on stuff like this is it. If anything, take a day. Go to 5 different grocery stores. Try the big ones. Go to the small ones. I remember somebody at one store was going, there's no orange juice. I saw people panicking over orange juice. Oh my gosh, there's no. And a lady walks up to me because I'm just kind of sticker, and she goes, and she named another grocery market. She goes, they have frozen orange juice, tons. I just came from there. So don't let one place make you freak out. Know your neighbors. I'm a very private person. Anonymity in our private life matters. We're very social through the medium and television and all that, but our home life, we keep our home life private, even at the point of pseudonyms on some things that we do. But this is the first time that I've actually got on to a very clear understanding of people in my general area. We all have each other's phone numbers. We're on a thread in case something happens where one person can text, everybody gets the text. We know exactly where they are and what they need. And we can help. And that's what neighbors are for. Teamwork is dream work. It's cliche, but actually it's pretty good. If you have extra funds, then buy extra food or resources to put in your house, your garage, whatever, so that if somebody does come in need, you as a Christian, you as a Christian can say, hang on, let me get you something. And they're like, wow, thank you. Sure. And then the Marine in me is, always be prepared for somebody to act crazy. And you have the wherewithal and the mindset to hurt their feelings to say, don't do that. Families is my last thing. Families, men, wives, you gotta have that hierarchy. Someone's got to lead. When decisions have to be made, you can make them jointly, but ultimately one person. I'm always going to say the man, but there are areas in my life I submit to my wife in the sense of I go, hey, what do you think is the best course of action for this? I listen. I still know that decision. I have to make the final decision because I believe it's God, the husband, the wife, the kids. I think that is healthy. But if you are drinking and using coping mechanisms, it will diminish your ability for right thinking and a sound mind. Hey, purchase alcohol stores, boom, 55% for regular alcohol, 75% in sales for hard liquor. That means a lot of people are trying to calm their nerves through the liquid courage. And I would just warn against that. Don't diminish your ability to make solid decisions, or my goodness, to ever defend yourself, because you've lowered your capacity and ability through strong drink and whatever else. Okay? If you struggle with anxiety, find good coping. In some of my earlier videos, we talked about that. Tonight, I invite y'all, 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 9 o'clock East Coast, and West Coast is a little bit earlier, to watch a new short film that we've made that discusses trauma and the effects of it and how to handle anxiety and how to work as a team. Because husband and wives right now, wherever you are, America, Iraq, Syria, Turkey, Cambodia, husband and wives need to learn to fight back to back, not nose to nose. That is me and my wife's philosophy. We've learned to do that. And the kids need to understand and follow what you give as the direction. This isn't rehearsal. This isn't playtime. It's happening now. And there's probably going to be a month, 2 months, 3 months where very good leadership skills are going to be needed in every household. Every household. Do that by prayer. Do that by appropriate submission to one another. Obviously, wives, if your husband's drunk in a corner, and peeing himself, well, you may have to just stand on the gap and make the best decisions until he sobers up. And the other thing is, for single parents, I pray the Lord will bless you, give you the grace, the coupon. Hey, look, you've been a single parent, so you're in that role. There is no tension. There's a sense of loneliness. My mom was a single mom, often when I grew up. So God will give you the wisdom. He'll give you the grace. Talk to your children. Age appropriate. You don't want to be telling a small child, oh my gosh, this is nuts, this is crazy, and bad things are going to happen, the wheels are going to fall off. Don't do that. Just say, hey, look, things are changing. It's kind of exciting, kind of fun. Let's make fun out of it. I know of a dad in the Middle East, when their neighborhood was being bombed, he was recording himself. He was joking with his daughter. Every time a bomb would hit, they would start laughing instead of crying. It was really sweet and funny. So, hey, we love y'all. We're here. We're here with you. Help walk you through this. My family and I can honestly say, we have and certainly do. And I'm comfortable in crisis. So we're here to answer the best questions that we can to help you. But just know we love you. And God loves you. He's on the throne. This is a time where all the scriptures that you know can come alive in new and greater ways. For sure. So, all right. That's it for now. See y'all tonight. 7 o'clock. Mountain time. 9 o'clock. East Coast. And then I think y'all 1 hour ahead, California. Is that right? So 6 o'clock. Or you're 1 hour behind California to us here in the mountains. So, anywho, we have a chaplain on staff here. For those of you who need us, email a chaplain. We can give you that email, Chaplain Chaz. It's just Chaz, CHAZ, at victormarks.com. And yes, there's a way for you to watch Triggered without Facebook. And we'll be sharing that with y'all. But yeah, I think our film is going to air. We're going to go live with it 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 6 o'clock Pacific. And remember, God has his guardian angels. They're on full time. And right now, this is just an inconvenience for people. So don't worry. 8 o'clock Central Time for the film. All right, you guys, share this, and may this encourage you to be prepared, not paranoid. God bless y'all.